Okay, so welcome back to Ken versus the Stove. Today I'm going to make some wheat bread using Turkish, I kid you not, Turkish yeast, right? I don't read a word of Turkish. Anybody who does, feel free to zoom in and translate. But got this from Amazon, and part of the reason is I'm trying this is, okay, so we all see the stuff all the time when I talk about, oh, bread is so terrible for you, it's bad for your gut, you got all the problems with, no, puppy, I'm not feeding you anything. You've got all the problems with gluten and everything. And then, you try the gluten-free stuff and, well, we saw banana flour bread. That didn't go well. It made okay bread loaf, right? And we all know it was a little bit flatter than normal. Okay loaf, but taste wasn't there, right? So you see other people talk about on the internet, well, if you use European yeast, you don't have these problems. I'm dubious. You should be dubious too about this, but we're going to try and see what this, I guess the name is Maya, yeast does. I'm not going to make you sit through every little section and talk about it all this time. I'm just going to zip it up really quick. You'll see me working on it. You'll see the final project. You'll see the final bread, loaf, whatever. And then we will, you'll see Pedro jumping on me. And then we'll see how it turns out. So let me get going. Wow. Pretty good. Yeesh. Look at that. Yeah. Wow! Alright, looks pretty good. Rose pretty decent. Let's let them dry, or cool down. Hot, hot, hot. Okay, it's done. It's cool overnight. Here's what it looks like. Now, for those of you who watch all the people who do it on YouTube and everything and make them look pretty, I don't make them look pretty. I just try to make it work, right? So it's not sprayed Pam in and making sure it's perfectly square shaped. I just put the doggone parchment paper, and you see folds and stuff from the parchment paper. It's still edible, right? Awful good, actually, sometimes. I don't know about this one yet. A little bit interesting about the overlip there. Let's see what it tastes like. The crust's a little tough. Alright, there's what it looks like on the inside. Pretty decent, you know. holds together pretty good. So, Turkish yeast does what every other yeast does. I'll be back to talk to you about it all after I've eaten it in a meal or two. See you then. Okay, so it turned out pretty normal bread, right? A little bit thicker, a little bit more doughy once it was done. It's still baked all the way through. It just, you know how if you can take like white bread and you kind of scrunch it up and you got like, it comes doughy in your hand, you know? That's kind of the way it is. It's a little bit, if I crunch up like that, it kind of doughs up, right? But it's baked through. You know, the Turkish yeast worked like other yeast. I will say it doesn't have quite the same taste. Not bad, but it just doesn't have quite the same taste. And when I, went to use it, dunk it in soup and that, it was just fine. So, if you want to get Turkish yeast, get Turkish yeast. Let me see. I ate a little bit. I get bloaty after I eat regular bread if I eat much of it. I didn't seem to get as much of that from this, but who knows? That could be the head, right? Not actually what's physically going on in the body. If anything changes on that, maybe I'll have an update. But as far as I can tell, yeast is yeast is yeast, and you can go with Fleischmann's or whatever version your local grocery store has, or if you want to overpay to get something off Amazon, you can get Turkish yeast, or I'm sure there's stuff in there from France and Germany or wherever. But seemed to work okay. So that's the end of this experiment. Next time, who knows? I keep saying I'm going to make Coca-Cola cake, although I think I may use cheerwine in it instead, right? Anything that is a cola cake, you can sub other colas in, right? And cheerwine is kind of an old school Southern drink, just like Coca-Cola is. I may slip cheerwine in instead. We'll see. You'll have to see next time I'm up and baking, and I'll see you then. Masalami, y'all.